Welcome to the Essentially You podcast, the space where high-achieving leaders come to elevate their impact, amplify their influence, and unlock their fullest potential. Hey, I'm your host, Mark Mathia, and I believe that great leadership starts with clarity, courage, and a commitment to growth. Together, we'll explore the strategies, mindset shifts, and transformational coaching tools that help you overcome challenges, inspire your teams, and thrive in the moments that matter most. Now, this isn't just about leading others, it's about leading yourself first. It's about stepping into alignment, driving meaningful change, and owning your power to create a legacy of excellence. Each week, we'll share insights, real-world lessons, and inspiring conversations to help you elevate your moments. Let's dive in. As leaders, showing up fully thriving means understanding when to seek external support to continue growing personally and professionally. But the question then becomes, how do we know? How do we know whether to choose a counselor or a coach? I think it's an important question, and I thought I'd take a few moments to break down the roles, the differences, and show you how they can work in harmony to help you lead with purpose. First of all, if you know me for any amount of time, you know that I'm an advocate for sound mental health. And so when I talk about counseling versus coaching, I really think they work together well. I'll explain that later. However, I want you to know that if you are a leader and you are in need of either, please seek help. That's the best thing we can do to make sure that we get ourselves into a position of thriving. But let's take a closer look at counseling versus coaching. And so I've kind of created a matrix just so we could look at it. Now, first, let's talk about primary focus. A counselor's primary focus is mental health, emotional well-being, and past trauma resolution. This is probably important for about every single one of us. Now, a coach is performance, goal achievement, and future growth orientation. So you can see the difference right away. Now, in the key purpose, counseling is healing and coping with life's challenges, whereas a coach is more maximizing potential and creating actionable strategies. Typical issues addressed in counseling could be things like anxiety, depression, past trauma, and relationship issues. Whereas a coach, it could be career advancement, leadership development, and mindset shifts, which is very close to the others, but not the same. One of the really important things that you consider is the educational background. And counselors are licensed mental health professionals. And that's really important because they hold advanced degrees and licensed to do mental health work. Whereas a coaching, training, and certification are not necessarily required. And so what you want to do, they're certainly not licensed in mental health. And you want to make sure that your coach, if you decide to go that way, is licensed by a governing board like the International Coaching Federation or ICF or something specific like that. Training matters, but there's a low bar to entry to becoming a coach. So not all coaches are the same. Now, the session structure is interesting because in counseling, it's structured therapeutic approach, and it's often over a long term. And as a coach, it's structured but goal-focused conversations, and it's typically short to medium term. So you're not, hopefully have a coach for life, right? You kind of work yourself out of it. Now, there's ethical boundaries to be considered, and governing, for counseling governed by state and national regulations. There are protected health information. Where coaching, there is ethical guidelines in the ICF bylaws, but there's no protection or protected health information being exchanged. Now, the outcomes, this is the big one. Improved mental health for counseling, emotional resilience for counseling. And for coaching, it's enhanced performance, improved leadership, and personal development. While both approaches are similar, counseling are insight-driven and reflective, whereas coaching can be action-orientated and very strategic. Now, when it comes to counseling versus coaching, there's pros and cons. Counseling, deep emotional healing. Sometimes we need that. Licensed expertise, which is great to have. Improve resilience levels, which we all need. Some of the cons may be it may not focus on your performance, your goals, or the stigma around seeking mental health help, which we hope will end. In coaching, I think we have a more forward-focused, kind of action-oriented, increased clarity in performance. It's like looking in a mirror and really reflecting on yourself currently and where you want to go. Coaching is not suitable for deep mental health issues. And it's a widely unregulated field. So again, always look for a coach with a credential. Now, when leaders should choose, when do you know when to choose? Okay. Choose counseling when you have past trauma that's impacting your current leadership. Choose counseling when you're dealing with chronic stress, anxiety, or depression and it's out of control. Choose counseling when you need to understand emotional patterns that hinder your growth. And then on the other side of that, by the way, a great coach can tell you when there's signs that you might need counseling. And that's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing. But choose coaching when you have clear goals but need strategic support. When you seek better communication and leadership skills and don't undervalue leadership skills. And when you're ready for a mindset shift to elevate your performance, coaching can fit. But the most impactful leaders often benefit from a blend of both, and your counselor can work with your coach. Counseling helps leaders heal and process their past, while coaching builds on their future roadmap. Together, both approaches can help create a holistic, thriving leader who brings authenticity, clarity, and inspiration to the workplace. When leaders invest in both mental health and strategic growth, they show up fully present, empathetic, and adaptable. This makes them innovative, and this creates a positive ripple effect across your teams. Now, thriving at work, it's a big deal. When you feel like you're in a place of thriving, you will increase your innovation, creativity. You'll have better communication, better conflict resolution, enhanced emotional intelligence, stronger, more inspired teams. All of that comes right back to the bottom line. You know, there's one leader that I want to point out here real quick, and that's Emma Hayes, a distinguished soccer manager. She led the U.S. women's national team to the Olympic gold in 2024, just months after concluding a successful 12-year tenure with Chelsea women's soccer team in the Premier League. She secured 7 FA Women's Super League titles. Now, following this achievement, she was honored with the 2024 Ballon d'Or Women's Coach of the Year Award. So she's awesome. But throughout her career, Hayes emphasized the importance of external support, collaboration with an executive coach during high-pressure periods to enhance her leadership approach. Reflecting on this experience, she stated, "Without that support, I wouldn't have got it done." This partnership, along with her advocacy for mental health, underscores how integrating coaching and counseling can empower a leader to excel. Okay, I know I talked a lot about both. I hope this was helpful. And in your journey to become elevated, I hope you'll consider both counseling and coaching as an opportunity for you to excel in business and life. Thank you for listening to Essentially You, the podcast. I'm so grateful to have shared this time with you. If today's conversation inspired you or sparked a new perspective, I'd love to hear from you. Let's connect. You can email me at mark@markmathia.com to share your thoughts, ask questions, or even take your first step toward elevating your leadership and impact. Your next breakthrough starts with a single moment of action. And until next time, remember to lead with purpose, stay aligned with your vision, and always elevate your moments.